Shalom, give all praise, Yahweh Shem Yashab Bashim Kakadash. Honors men and truth on down relating to this truth and knowledge, so we can know this truth and knowledge. With the word Yahweh Shem Yashab put in the spirit of men and truth on down, like-minded ones who teach this truth, so we can know this truth and learn this truth and knowledge. And call Yahweh Shem Yashab Bashim Kakadash, give all praise, Yahweh Shem Yashab Bashim Kakadash. Continuing relating to news reports. So a few. You had in South China Sea, China accuses U.S. of violating its sovereignty, its power, laying in China Sea. Chinese military said they tracked and warned expelled an U.S. missile destroyer from the waters around the disputed Paracel Island on Friday. It's a report on Wayan. I guess I can play a little of the video.
The South China Sea is once again making headlines. This time, Beijing is furious over an American destroyer in the waters. Why exactly is China fuming? And were the Americans provoking China? Our next report getting the answers.
Beijing claims it tailed and issuing a warning to a U.S. Navy ship in the South China Sea. China says its naval and air force was scrambled to counter the American guided missile destroyer USS Halsey. China says the ship's presence seriously violates its sovereignty and security. USS Halsey is the same ship that had upset China a few days back by sailing through the Taiwan Strait. US warships and occasionally US Navy patrol aircraft pass through or move the strait about once a month. Beijing claims almost the entire South China Sea, despite an international ruling and its assertion it has no legal basis. It also deploys hundreds of Coast Guard, Navy and other vessels to patrol and militarize the waters. Maritime confrontations between China and the Philippines in the South China Sea have raised fears of a wider conflict that could involve the US and other allies. China has angered the Philippines by repeatedly harassing its Coast Guard ships. Manila says Chinese Navy has used several provocative moves, including powerful water cannons, a military laser, blocking movements and other dangerous maneuvers in the high seas near two disputed South China Sea shores. On Wednesday, the US and Philippine forces unleashed high-precision rockets, artillery fire and airstrikes and sank a mock enemy ship as part of large-scale war drills in the South China Sea. The drills have obviously antagonized Beijing. The report beyond this morning.
That was a Wayan report relating to accuses U.S. relating to violating the sovereignty. And Philippine, of course, the Philippines and the U.S. are doing drills as well. The Philippines should expel relating to Chinese diplomats. So you have another report that the Crux report that Washington dismisses relating to interference relating to India elections. That's a Crux report as well. Scripture talks about meddle not in other man's matters, other man's matters. I can get that. Let's get some more reports. You have Russian soldiers being housed in air base housing. Russian soldiers in U.S. You had conflict. Let me see the report. Russian soldiers enter air base housing U.S. forces in Niger. I'll read a little bit of it. I'm not going to play the video. The Russian soldiers enter the air base housing U.S. forces in Niger. Tensions are running high in West Africa Russians and American troops are stationed at the same military base in Niger. The troops of two rivals sharing Air Base 101, the country's capital of Niamey. However, the reports suggest that the soldiers are based in different hangars and are not mingling with each other. This comes after the Niger's junta rulers expelled the U.S. troops from the country following July coup last year. The entry of Vladimir Putin's forces have raised concerns over Russia's access to U.S. installations in Niger. Addressing the concerns, the U.S. said that Russian troops did not have access to American equipment. Then you have aid $400 million to Ukraine report. Let me get that one real quick, which is nothing. That's like giving somebody $100 to spend. They'll spend that like it's nothing. U.S. announces $400 million military aid package for Ukraine. Various reports. There's a report that $200 million per minute relating to the interest on relating to that $34 trillion relating to the debt. Over $2 million per minute relating to paying off that interest, man. That was on the report as well. CNGTN report relating to that thick clay, that debt. You have U.S. warns of large-scale Russian offenses against Ukraine's Kharkiv. Brazil agrees to send from frozen Russian assets to aid Ukraine, and that goes to them ceasing related to those assets in different various parts that that Russia has, man. Business in different venues, man, freezing those assets to help possibly with the Ukraine. I was talking the other day, Ukraine relating to helping Ukraine, or that'll be a part of getting that money for either helping them or whatever they're going to do with it relating to the assets. American $61 billion aid package buys Ukraine time. That's 2 weeks ago. Yeah, they sent in another $400 million. That's a report here. $400 million is being sent again. This is for military, assistance for Ukraine. Scripture says, "Be not ignorant of anything great or small," man. You know what I mean? That means overall. And you have what's that scripture? Let me see if I did it. Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 11:10. My son, meddle not with many matters. And that matters goes to affairs. For if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And that goes into being a busybody or meddle in things that you shouldn't be. You're not going to be innocent from the optics, man. If thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing, man. So in the end, it can come back and bite you, man. And that's what's happening from symbolically relating to certain countries meddling in other people's matters, man. It's going to come back and bite them, man. being the international global Superman or super international super save man or Superman for the world, man. So now you seeing this coming back to bite him, man. That's Ecclesiastes 11 and 10. Let's see what this one is. My son, fear thou the Lord, the King, and meddle not with them that are given to change. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both. So that goes to meddle in the affairs, man. Meddle in things that needs not to be meddled in, man. Because the outcome can be very dangerous, man, putting it mildly. So, and certain things could be planned for that anyway. And and individuals who are meddling can get caught up in that, man. All right, that was on Proverbs 24, 21, and 22. And that was Sirach 11 and 10. That was a KJV. What was the other one? KJV. Yeah, KJV, which is King James Apocrypha. Could be Amplified English version. And you have, yeah. Let me see another one. Yeah, okay. Let's go to, there's another report relating to this brain chip related to Elon Musk. This brain chip, a 29-year-old is related to this brain chip. It was now it's complications, man. I'm gonna read a little bit. This relates to a technical glitch in the brain chip. Elon Musk startup Neuralink revealed that experienced a problem with its brain implant after the device was installed. An initial participant, a 29-year-old quadriplegic, Nolan Arbaugh. The device started to malfunction just weeks after installation. Neuralink was co-founded by Elon Musk in 2016. It is one of several companies developing a brain-computer interface, a system that provides a direct link from the brain to the external device. The Neuralink technology is designed to decode intended movement signals. So for that quadriplegic, he'll be able to move through the access of that brain chip. Brain chip. I keep saying trip, Shalak. The brain chip. Through the use of it, it can help, move areas of his body that normally wouldn't by the use of that brain chip. Let me see. And the technology is designated to decode the intentional movement signals from the brain to allow the paralyzed individual to move cursor or type or keyboard with just their thoughts. So they're, through the thoughts, the machine, the technology with the chip to be able to, think, to be able to think, to move, his arm or different things with that device, the technology, they'll be able to try to do that. They'll be able to do it, But now you're seeing defects, man. You're seeing technical issues, man, with this. The scripture talks about Revelations 13, Revelations 13, because that brain chip goes to what? The right or left hand, or the forehead, man. Pretty much that in your brain, man. I'll read number 16. And he all calls all, both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. The brain, that's their brain area, man. Prefrontal lobe controls your personality, behavior, different things, areas of your, the frontal lobe and prefrontal. So either your right hand, your forehead's your left hand. You know what I mean? And no one might buy or sell save that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that's what goes into in all denominations. Bold, small, and great, rich or poor, free and bond, free or bond in jail, will have to participate relating to, and there's no exemptions, there's no exceptions to the rule, there's no respecter of persons that's relating to exempt from that, man. So all will have to, from all denominations, all backgrounds, relating to participate in that, relating to that. That's a physical thing, which is the MC microchip. And the brain chip, that was a 29-year-old quadriplegic. So 8 years later, that was in 2016, he's experienced technical glitches relating to receiving that, man. You got, let me see what other news. So some setbacks, to say the least, relating to that. Let me get that article relating to the Crux report. All right, Washington has rejected Russia's allegations the United States is working to destabilize India. During the ongoing Lok Sabha elections. No, of course, we don't involve ourselves in elections in India, as we don't involve ourselves in elections anywhere in the world. Those are decisions for the people of India to make. U.S. Department spokesperson Matthew Miller on May 10th. Earlier this week, Russian Foreign Minister spokesman Maria Zakharova slammed the U.S. for accusing India and other countries groundlessly with the intention to interfere in elections. Reason is that they try to unbalance the internal political situation in India in order to complicate the ongoing general parliamentary election that is a part of the meddling into India's internal affairs, RT report. Quoted Maria Zakharova. That's a Crux report. I read the scripture relating to meddle not other people's affairs, because you will not be found innocent otherwise. Let me see. What other reports? This is news reports. You got Thailand faces a severe heat wave with over 60 deaths in 2024. So you're having a major heat wave in Thailand. going back to relating to that between the tensions. Scripture talks about Matthew 24. For you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled by and by, but the end is not by and by. For nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, there shall be pestilence and earthquakes in different places. For we in the times of sorrow. So these nations, the tensions in these nations, man. You know what I mean? We're seeing the tensions building up relating to these nations. You had a major tornado sweep through Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm, tornado. You had some areas of Florida hit with Tallahassee area, the Panhandle, with major storms. You had storms, thunder, severe weather moving across the country. Tennessee, Florida, Georgia area heading. Just relating to a post. That goes back to the part of that will be the no high laws, the guillotine. Through the spirit, you know what I mean? When you think of Trump, it could be through the regeneration. Pretty much Trump Nero, or Nero Trump, man. Nothing. The scripture talks about nothing new under the sun, man. And when relating to that great fire of Rome, I believe in 64. Let me see. The summer of 64 AD. I was under Nero, and he really pretty much orchestrated that. And but he can blame it on the Jews, man. You know what I mean, as a scapegoat. So nothing under the sun, nothing new under the sun. Yeah, July 18th, July 18th of July, 64 AD. And you have get a little information on this. Emperor Nero blamed the devastation on the Christian community in the city. It really wasn't them, it was him that orchestrated that, man. But he can use them as a scapegoat. Fast forward, somebody has to be a scapegoat. Fast forward, man. You know what I mean? Somebody has to be the face of a major problem or a major concern, man. Let me read it again. Emperor Nero blamed the devastation of the Christian community in the city, initiating the emperor's first persecution against the Christians. And other contemporaries blamed Nero's incompetence, but it was commonly agreed to historians that Rome was tightly packed. The fire was inevitable. And Nero reigned, but he reigned 54 to about 68 AD. So that picture you seen, Trump, Nero, it could be, man. Let's get that scripture. Nothing new under the sun. Through the regeneration, Nero coming back as Trump, man. know. And that thing he said relating to the DP, you know what I mean, against, you know, so it could be him. Under the sun. Let's get the scripture. Let me see. Ecclesiastes 1:9. The things that have been, it is the things which shall be, the things which is done, is that which shall be done. There is no new thing under the sun. So the things that was done will be done because it's been done. So nothing new under the sun relating to that scripture, Ecclesiastes 1:9. So regeneration, you know what I mean? Let me see what other news. So that relates to that, because you have an related to the HR, which is House Resolution 6090, that goes to what they want to do relating to banning certain books that can't be that they deem offensive to a certain people because of the language, the vulgarity, and certain scriptures that they would deem as offensive. That goes to HR 6090. You have the 363, which relate to Canada. Here they're doing it related to HR 690. That goes with the what's going to happen, persecution, man. They shall be like madman, sparing none. Destroying those who fear in the Lord, man. In a matter of speaking, paraphrasing. You know what I mean? So they're gonna come like madman, sparing none. They're gonna come in great wrath, come like the flood. Isaiah 59:19, 1 Peter 5:8, 1 Peter 5:8, Revelations 12:12, Isaiah 59:19. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil's going to come in great wrath, knowing but he has a short time. Great wrath, man. 59:19, he come as a flood, but a standard shall be lifted. Isaiah 59:19. And you have 1 Peter 5:8 talk about the devil, your adversary, like a roaring lion, wait whom he may devour. You know what I mean? So he's going to come in a certain manner. Part of that is the persecution, man. Do what? Policies and different things, man. Let me get a scripture real quick. Daniel 7 and real quick. So I'm going to go to 20. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. So one's in a position of power. That goes to blasphemy against the Most High and his only begotten Son. And shall wear out the saints, which are the prophets. They sighing and crying. You know, the righteous complain continually, as Scripture talks about. And think to change times and laws. So that's the point. So they're going to change the times, and most of all, they're going to change the laws. Laws goes to the forms of policies, doctrines, decrees. You know what I mean? Scripture talks about woe to you who write unrighteous decrees and grievous to whom they prescribe. And he shall speak of great words against the Most High. And shall wear out the saints, the Most High, and think to change times and laws. they shall be given into his time, into his hand. His power has been given to his hand. The earth has been given to us, the power of the wicked. You know what I mean? So that sword is in his hand, man. And part of that, with the sword, he gains everything, access to everything, he controls everything, including policy, decrees, laws, statutes, man. They shall be given into his hand until a time and time divided time. So relating to that time and rulership, man. Go to 8 and 25. And 25. And through his policies, parts of the policies is laws, decrees, statutes, different things, man. Contracts, any form of paper or legislation. And through his policies, also he shall cause craft to prosper. And that craft goes to building, man. Designing. In his hand, because the power is in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, which is his mind, and by peace shall destroy many. Form relating to the optics, related to using these policies, statute, decrees, laws, different forms of contracts of legislation, decrees. He's going to guise in the form of peace, but it's going to really destroy many. That's why that scripture talks about woe to your unrighteous decrees and grievous to whom they prescribe, man. They're grievous, man, to whom they prescribe, man. And he shall also stand up against the prince of powers, but shall be broken with hand. 2nd Ezra 11, 2nd Ezra 13, Revelations 12. 7, around that area. Go to Isaiah 10 and 1. All right, go into them that decree unrighteous decrees. That goes to what? Policy, statute, laws. You know what I mean? Remember, they have the power to what? Change times and laws, man. 725 of Daniel. And right grievous which they have prescribed. So these laws, these unrighteous decrees, statutes, policies, and laws, which actually they supposed to be beneficial to the people, but actually to be beneficial to whom they prescribe, but actually they're going to be grievous to who they prescribe because they're unrighteous, man. To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor. They're taking the rights from the poorest, man. You know what I mean? Through these policies, decrees, these statutes, and different things. That's why they're grievous to the majority, man. And the widows that may be their prey, and they may rob the father. So they robbing the fatherless, they robbing the poor, the ones who were disfranchised, the ones who lack the means and resources to what? Defend themselves, for example. Proverbs 29 and 2. For when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. So if the righteous wasn't in authority, people were rejoicing. They're not. If the right scripture talks about Proverbs 29 and 2, if the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, people mourn. Because they have to bear relating to them being in a position of power, man. They're mourning, it's grievous, you know what I mean? Bearing goes to tolerate and even suffering, man. So they have to suffer and bear relating to the wicked, man, and rulership, man. Go to 10 and 1 of Isaiah real quick. Sirach 10 and 1. Go to Sirach, which will be Ecclesiasticus My tongue is a little stammered today for some reason, but it's all good. Wise magistration relate whether this goes to whether a wise or unwise judge obtains. The magistration relates to the powers, man. A wise judge will instruct goes to edify and build his people. And the government of a prudent man, which is a man of wisdom, will be well ordered. So that goes to a wise judge, man. Everything's going to be well ordered, well established, man. And as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, and such are all they that dwell therein, man. So the ones under that authority, wherever, if it's a wise magistrate, then the people under that, they're going to fall under the ones who are that. They're going to follow suit in the manner of suit relating to the ones above them in power and position of power, man. But the unwise king destroyeth his people. So the unwise king destroyeth his people, man. That's why the scripture talks about when the Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, people will rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, people mourn. The wicked is that unwise king, the unwise ruler. So what? The people are mourning because he's destroying the people, man. Because he's in a position of power, man. That's why they relating to him in a position of power and ruling, man. And the unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city is inhabited. And the power of the earth is in the hands of the Lord, and in due time he will set one that is profitable. That will be his only begotten son when that time comes. That's what that goes to. So right now, as that scripture says, the wicked being in power, you have to bear their rule, man. Part of that bearing that rule is relating to them being in a position of power, controlling everything. Parts of that relate to these unrighteous decrees, man. They relating to even taking away certain things that's on the books, man. You know what I mean? Because they control everything, so they can do that. So part of that would be that persecution, you know, the change of laws, change of these different things, which they're gonna be for the totality of it, grievous to all, man. That being said, this is just something short. I hope this helps whoever listens relating to information. Otherwise, we give all praise, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shem, Makakada, Zayah, Shalom.